This is chapter 76 of Life of Pi. I got into the habit of cleaning up after Richard Parker. As soon as I became aware that he had a bowel movement, I went about getting to it. I risked an operation involving nudging his feces my way with the gaff and reaching for them from the tarp. Feces can be infected with parasites. This does not matter with animals in the wild, since they are rarely spent any time next to their feces or mostly have neutral relations to them. Tree dwellers hardly see them at all, and the lands animals normally excrete. And moving on, in the compact territory of the zoo, however, the case is quite different. And to leave feces in an animal's enclosure is to invite reinfections and encouraging the animal to eat them. Animals being gluttons for anything that is remotely resembles food. That is why enclosures are cleaned out, concerned in the intentional health of animals, not to spare the eyes and the concern in the case at hand. The matter is weak. Richard Parker became constipated from his bowel movements came no more than once a month, so my dangerous janitoring was hardly worth it from a sanitary point of view. It was for another reason that I did it. It was because of the first time Richard Parker relieved himself in the lifeboat, I noticed that he tried to hide the result. The significance of this was lost to me. To display his feces openly, he flaunt the smell of them would have been the sign of social dominance. Conversely, to hide them, to try, was a sign of the difference to me. I could tell that I made him nervous. He stayed low, his head cocked back and his ears flat to the sides. A quite sustained growl coming from him, I proceeded with exceptional alertness, deliberation, not only to preserve my life, but also to keep him the right signal. The right signal was that I made his feces in my hand. I rolled them about for some seconds, brought them back, close to my nose and sniffed them loudly, and swung my gaze his way a few times and showered Manny, glaring at a wide-eyed with fear. It only he knew long enough to give him willies, but not long as to provoke him. With each swing of my gaze, I blew in a low, menacing whistle. In doing this, badgered him with my eyes, for, of course, with animals, including us, stare in the aggressive act by sounding the whistle cry that such ominous associations in his mind. I clear Richard Parker. That was my right, my lordly right, to fondle and sniff his feces. If I wanted to, it would be good zookeeping. I was up for psychology bullying, and the worked Richard Parker never stared back. His gaze always floated in midair, neither on me nor off me. It was something I could feel, much as I felt as the ball's excitement in my hand, mastery in the making. The exercise always left me utterly drained from the tension, yet exhilarated. Since we were on the subject, it became constipated as Richard Parker. It was a result of our diet, too little water and too much protein for me. Relieving myself was a monthly act. Was hardy that it was a long-drawn, arduous and painful event that left me bathing in sweat and helpless with exhaustion, a trial worse than a high fever.